What is going on, Cigar Club family? Welcome back to the TPE trade show floor. We're continuing our micro podcast series with none other, learning to talk again, than Omar Fernandez from AJ Fernandez Cigars. The man, the myth, the legend, the guy that makes it all happen. Every time you see an AJ cigar in your box, you can thank this lovely man to my right. Welcome to the podcast.
What an intro. Thank you for having me. We are here live at TPE 2021, Las Vegas.
I mean, I'm just so glad this is happening.
This is pretty cool. I was a little worrisome that people would not show up. Didn't know what to expect with the smoking, can't smoke in the aisles, but got to wear your mask. I don't think I've worn a mask yet. Yeah. I feel safe.
Yes, very safe.
Everyone is, I've seen a lot of people I haven't seen since last TPE. Which was the last time we did a show, so it's
this
really
is your
really
first show back too.
First show back.
Feeling good?
Feels great.
I love that. Let's get things kicked off right. What are you smoking?
Bellas Artes Natural. You should have been able to guess that because I just finished a Club 500 a little while ago. Doing the Bellas Artes Natural. This is my go-to anytime as it's just a go-to. It's what it is.
When Griff and I were in your penthouse office a couple months ago, you had suggested that we try that one out, and you'd explained it as this like beautiful classic with still some strength and body, but old world meets new world.
Yeah, and
flavor profiles.
Yes, and it's very
and it's so accurate. It's like in the box press
it's
on
elegant,
the
man.
Wrapper.
The wrapper's unique. Only AJ has this wrapper. He invented this hybrid wrapper.
Oh,
and
tell us.
Took a USA Connecticut seed and made a hybrid with Habano. So that's why it has this shade. It's not as light as a Connecticut. It's not as dark as a Habano. And then it's got all types of tobacco. It's like a United Nations of tobacco.
Where's the wrapper
he's growing in an Esteli.
Wow.
So he has like this farm that nobody knows about. It's in the middle. Like you got to go down this dirt road, and then there's guards there. It's like a experimental farm. So whenever we get down there, we're gonna go visit this place. You're gonna be like, "What is this?" I go, "This is where he's trying."
I like that you said when we
go. No, it's got to happen in 21. That's done. So you're going to get to see that and a lot of other stuff that he's tinkering with. So he creates his own seed. Wow. Still coming from Cuban seed, but he's taking it to another level.
And that's something we've talked about before is AJ's love of tobacco. Like his true passion being just like if all day for the rest of his life, he just wants to be in tobacco fields, trying new things, fermenting tobacco, growing tobacco, blending cigars.
I had a conversation. It was more like an argument kind of with him a couple months ago when he was in Miami.
You guys argue?
We argue a lot. But he said to me, I was telling him something about, dude, take some time, like go to a beach, like, find a resort, go hang out, just relax. And he goes, I do that every day. That's like what I do is what I want to be doing.
That is his beach.
That's his beach. That's his getaway. He's doing that every day and doing it well. And we benefit from him having that passion. That's why our motto is passion, discipline, great tobacco. It starts with him. It ends with him. He makes sure that, listen, if you see my WhatsApp picture roll of what he sends me, he's got at night, he's smoking the day's production of whatever he's making, and they put these little temporary bands on it so he knows what it is, and he'll send me pictures of stuff, and he'll be like, and he'll send me thumbs up or this and that, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but he's trying it as it comes off the line before they pack it and ship it to make sure that it is every day. That's what his routine. He leaves the factory with a 1-gallon bag of cigars every day, and he always smokes fresh rolled, which, by the way, it's the worst stuff. Okay, you don't want freshly rolled cigars.
No,
he has them that way, and his palate is in a way where he can just discern that. I can't. I smoke cigars and they're freshly rolled, and I'm like, I don't even know what is this. This isn't what I remember. But then you fly over here, they dry a little bit, and you're like, oh yeah, that's really good. It's kind of he's adapted to that.
It's such an art form.
It's amazing.
Just the tobacco growing selection process year over year, like making sure your crops and adjusting them so that your brands taste the same in that consistency aspect, especially with a portfolio as vast as yours. I like that. Is an insane task.
What other industry
Forget
does
making new cigars.
Yeah,
keeping your cigars tasting the same
this year
is way more mind-boggling to me.
This year was nuts. They started with 2 hurricanes back to back. Like, here you go. Gosh. Let's cleanse the earth over there. And then he had a hailstorm, I want to say April 12, horrific hailstorm. And if you see the plants, they look like they got shot with a machine gun, just riddled with holes. And consumers don't get to see that they see the glam, they see these tall plants, and everybody's touching the leaves, and it's all beautiful. The drying barns looks great.
Yeah.
You don't see the bad stuff that happens. And it's like, you can't just go buy more. No, it's like, all right, that's ruined. That's why Cigar Aficionado put out an article the other day. Everyone, Plasencias, him, Aganorsa, extending the growing season till June, which they've never done. They had to.
Wow.
In order to have the amount of tobacco.
Keep up with the demand.
For the demand and for the production.
I mean, that's insane. The other thing that to me stands out about what you guys do is all these old classic Cuban brands.
Yeah.
Somehow all decide, like, if we're going to make a U.S. product, it goes to AJ. How does that even, like Ramon Alones, which we shipped 3 months or 4 months ago. I absolutely love that cigar. Old Cuban brand. I mean, H. Upman and different stuff like that you guys make a lot for. And how does that even, like, they just approach you and they're like, we want the master on this one?
Yes. So literally,
pretty simply, like,
that happened in 2016. I think it was the first ones he ever did were Monte Cristo. It was a white band. If some of you remember that, it's still out there. That was the first one. Then there was a Romeo y Julieta that he did by AJ Fernandez, and then right after was the Hoyo, La Amistad.
Oh, right.
And then there's been like 4 Hoyos since then, and it just kept growing. So imagine you grew up in this communist country known as Cuba, and you flee there to better yourself, your family, be able to develop this God-given talent that he has. And then the brands that you grew up knowing in your country are now saying, hey, can you blend stuff for us and make this for us? And then you mentioned it earlier, and you guys shipped out the Ramon. Ramon, they're like, hey, make a new Ramon, what you think Ramon should be, which is one of the oldest Cuban brands, first brand to ever have a band on it. And, oh, by the way, would you like to distribute it as well? I mean, dude, what an honor, you know? It's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And so I bet he pinches himself every morning. He's got to. I would.
I mean, no wonder he says, like, this is my heaven, this is my beach.
It's
is. Like, you grow up in Cuba, you admire those kind of brands, you come over here, and now they're admiring you and your work, and you're making cigars with just your name on it that are your expression of your tobacco.
All he knew in Cuba,
pretty amazing,
was if for those of you that like to cook and you season your food in different ways, imagine you only had salt and pepper to work with. You can do a lot with salt and pepper, with meat and whatnot. But then he gets to Nicaragua and he's like, well, wait a second. There's all this other stuff. Wait, all this tobacco from other countries. They grow tobacco in these countries?
Right.
Let me try this. And now you have this pantry, if you will, of
oh, man, so true.
all this different tobacco. And he just was like a kid in a candy store, blending. He really does have unique blends for every single brand that he makes. I've heard
which is not.
I've heard other master blenders say that doesn't happen, that there's only like 3 blends per factory. I'm telling you, that's total BS with AJ. And when you go down there, you're going to see it. You're going to see the difference.
Yeah,
I'd like to. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, me, Omar, Griff, we'll bring Ramsey will come so you all can get the behind the scenes. The mastermind will be there. Tell me real quick about this one, because this is a personal favorite of yours that I'm smoking.
The Club 500 from Viva La Vida.
Club 500 from Viva La Vida. What's the story on?
So the owners, Billy and Gus, great guys. When they did Viva La Vida, they wanted to do they had this like club of the first 500 stores or people that backed them and followed them early on.
Okay.
So they that was the idea, and there were these challenge coins that people got and whatnot. And the cigar, similar to the Jester, the wrapper has gone through a longer fermentation process. So it's a hair darker, more reddish hue. So that and the Jester have the same, but it's the same blend as Aviva. It's just a wrapper. But only with that being said, it does have a little bit more character, in my opinion. Viva is phenomenal. It's in my rotation daily.
Yes.
I don't smoke 60s. I don't do Gordos.
Neither do I, ever.
But
this might be like one of the first I've ever had. And I love it.
It's amazing.
Especially with the box press. Settles the 60 a little bit. It doesn't really feel as large.
You got it.
But the Viva La Vida Robusto, I believe, is going in Cigar Club boxes this coming month.
Yep.
And we had Bellasarte's Natural last month. We got a lot of AJ coming in because every time we smoke one, like we were just talking to Omar, I don't know, an hour ago about the San Latano Bull.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, this is a different blend too?
Yes. Completely.
Okay. Going in the boxes.
And then so it's funny because I don't smoke a lot of the San Lotano Bull, and yet Frankie and I were smoking it in the office the other day, and we're like, man, this is in the ballpark. I'm not going to say the same. It's definitely not the same. And the blends aren't even similar. However, it's in the ballpark of Viva La Vida. And I'm
excited to smoke that.
They came out 10 years apart from each other, and they're, you know, so the Bull is now finding this new love, and a lot of people are revisiting it because back when it originally came out, it had a cedar sleeve with a bull on it.
Oh.
And you could easily pick it out in the humidor from a mile away. It's gonna get a new box pretty soon.
Okay.
All the San Lotanos are gonna have a new box. Going to look a little different
refresh.
On the shelf. Yeah, because what happened was in 2016 when the whole FDA said we're gonna kill this industry, everyone said, well, we're gonna have to have these labels that are gonna ruin the beautiful box art, right? So everybody was going to have these plain Jane boxes, and that's what happened. Those boxes are very plain. They don't really speak to the quality, the craftsmanship, all the passion that goes into making that cigar. So now that that's been taken off the table permanently, we're going to say, okay, we're going to give that cigar a box that it's worthy to live in until each and every one of you burn them. Controlled fires.
Controlled fires with the mastermind tobacco guru, man of the soil is really more what AJ is like. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And I personally, and our whole team and our Cigar Club family in general, when we put AJ in a box, there's great feedback. There's comments. People love the brands, the extension, the Cuban lines. Like there's just this excitement around someone who feels like a monarch in the cigar world, right? And we love everything that you guys do and produce. I think it translates
pretty well to his brands.
Yeah.
I think people can really pick up the fact that this is his life. Mm-hmm. And he's a young guy. He's achieved a lot in a short period of time, and he understands that. And there's no I'm going to sit back, I'm going to take this period off, or I'm going to slow down and do this or that. There's none of that with him.
Full throttle.
He's full throttle. He's just keeps reinvesting, growing. And I'm like, I don't even know to what end.
Talk about a guy that's never going to retire.
No, absolutely not.
Never.
No, you can't. Listen, what we want to do in retirement, he's already doing it now. And that's the easiest way to explain it. He is retired in a way, you know?
Yeah. What a beautiful thing though that is.
That makes our job here in the United States with the distribution that much easier. We don't have to worry about the product. He starts talking to me sometimes and really gets really geeky.
Yep.
And it starts just going over my head, and I'm just like, yeah.
Smoke this. Try this.
He brought me
new
a cigar.
Varietal, new seed.
Hey, you got to try this. Something I'm working on. What is it? Don't worry, just try it. And I'm like, this is freaking amazing. Can we? Oh, okay, I got it. Don't worry, it's coming. But it tastes like nothing he's ever made before.
Wow.
And I said, how does he keep doing this? Where is this coming from?
The magician.
Unreal.
Any do you guys have any big releases planned for 2021?
I
gotta ask that question.
Yeah,
it's annoying, but I gotta ask it.
The main thing is going to be a lot of the rebranding because of what happened with FDA and that being off the table. We want our boxes to speak for what the product is, and be worthy of the product. So that's the number one thing. There's a few things that we want to bring out again that was very limited.
Yep.
And he's on board. I think that's why he was making these new blends. And I said, just make sure you save it for us. Don't be giving it to anybody else. They don't need it. We need it.
You should keep it here. Quality control office.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, Omar, that was fascinating. I know that everybody listening, there's going to be a deeper understanding every time they grab an AJ cigar of what goes into that and the man and the team behind that.
Yep.
It's his life. And to smoke somebody's like joy and passion in a cigar in an hour and a half with people is a special thing that I think AJ Fernandez Cigars offers every single time.
Yep. If what he thinks, or when you pick up an AJ Fernandez, there's a lot of AJ Fernandez out there. What we distribute is what he owns, or we have a distribution agreement. This is the stuff that he wants. This is his interpretation of these cigars. These are his blends. A lot of the other stuff, it's what people tell him they want. Mm-hmm. Might not be his favorite, but he's going to make it anyway and do the best that he can, right? But when you pick up a New World, the Bellas Artes, Dias de Gloria, Last Call, San Lotano, these are his brands.
Yeah.
This is where he's like, this is what I want to put out. And he loves that.
Yeah, it's special.
Yeah.
And they're great cigars. Cigar Club family, you guys will continue to see AJ in boxes for years
Absolutely.
to come. Omar, thanks so much
Thank you very much
for making
having
some
me.
time. He's a busy man, the president over here of this entire place. Everybody comes up to him, they get photos, they sit down, they want his autograph. He cut some time out for the Cigar Club family.
AJ makes it easy for me to do all that.
Love it. Thank you guys for listening. This has been another episode on the trade show floor. Cigar Club Podcast at TPE. We'll see y'all very soon. Happy smoking.